Segment is sponsored by the Utah Department of Commerce.
It's National Consumer Protection Week, and we are diving in today to talk about something called affinity fraud. Joining us is Francois Grayson, Assistant Director of the Utah Division of Securities. Francois, it's so good to see you. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me here.
Well, okay, for those of us that do not know what affinity fraud, can you explain kind of what that is?
Yes, so affinity fraud is a type of investment scam. So it's pretty much when your family member or a friend or a member of the community uses trust to try to get you to buy either a fake or a bad investment. And unfortunately, it's pretty common in Utah because we tend to be pretty trusting of our communities here.
Well, that's awful, first of all, and I'm so glad that you're here to talk about that because, one, we want to save people from this happening too. How can you tell if something is a scam or it's actually a legitimate investment?
There's several red flags that you can look at. One major one is whether or not a person is licensed. You can check with securities.utah.gov, or you can also call the Division of Securities to see. Another big one is whether or not there's any sort of offering documentation, if it's just a verbal sort of commitment. Another one is high pressure sales tactics without them giving you an opportunity to research the offering. So those are some common ones that we see.
I think that's great because I really believe, I mean, we're all trying to make a dollar. We're all trying to make the best investment for our family. And so people get really excited. And I love those tips. First of all, go straight to the website. And what was that website one more time that people can go to?
Securities.utah.gov.
Okay, all right, you guys check it out there. Now, are there people who are especially sustainable to this kind of affinity fraud?
Anyone can fall victim to affinity fraud. A lot of scammers will target seniors. I don't think they're necessarily more susceptible. It's just that seniors usually have a nest egg of retirement funds that scammers like to go after.
Absolutely, and again, everyone's trying to make that best investment. I can hear my father right now in my ear being like, this is good, baby, we need to do this.
Research the offer.
Exactly. Thank you, Dad. Research the offer. What is your division doing to help protect Utah against Utah's aging population?
So we have several resources. If we're investigating a case that involves a senior, we are able to add specific enhancements. We're one of 10 agencies under the Department of Commerce, and so we created a Knights roundtable that we call Knights of Scamalot. It's really fun, actually.
I like that.
And one of our newest Knights, her name is Queen Trustworth. She's our standing senior sentinel, or excuse me, our standing sentinel for seniors. And so our hope is that with Queen Trustworth and then also our investor education outreach initiatives and our enforcement efforts that we can empower seniors to help protect them from investment fraud.
I really love that. I love that a lot. Do you have any tips for any of the seniors that are watching today right now?
Sure. We would say to always talk to a trusted contact about any investment offering that seems too good to be true. And the point is not to ask permission to use your own funding. The point is to have an extra set of eyes to make sure it's a legitimate offering and that you're able to protect yourself in the end.
Well, thank you so much for doing what you're doing and protecting everyone, all of us that are wanting to make a good investment but not exactly sure how to go.
Sure.
Where can everyone go for more information, again, for those websites?
Sure, it's scams.utah.gov, and there you can find a lot of resources on red flags and then also how to submit a complaint.
Well, thank you again, Francois. It's so
Thanks
good to
for having
see you.
me.
Absolutely.